Yo! Welcome to an unscheduled, at least somewhat, live stream. Partially intended to be a test of this new hardware. I just upgraded the streaming PC again. So it's got an i7 2600 in it now. And it seems to be still working. The only problem with it is that it keeps losing the time of date because the CMOS battery holder fell off the board. Thank you very much for telling me that I'm live. You know, it's not like I don't already know that. Anyway, I've never understood why they did that. It's quite ridiculous, actually. But they do, and I guess that's it for that. So, normally I wouldn't do something like this because it's what? Well, it was supposed to be 3:30. Yes, it's a blue screen right now. I haven't turned the camera on. But it was supposed to be 3:30, and then I got the brilliant idea that I was going to mess around and try and get a new audio setup going and use camera audio. Well, that didn't work. I had to pull the computer out and hit the power switch on the power supply and turn the computer off. So that was lovely. And I had to get that back up and running. And then, as it turns out, well, I have the camera. So you can see the camera there, although I am having difficulty because my monitor is difficult to see. All you can hear out of the camera is this, which is not what it's supposed to be. So I guess this camera just doesn't pass audio, so I'll have to get another camera for that if I want to have audio. So here we go. I had some jerk the other day, actually last night, ask me, so how much effort do you really put into a computer build video? Because your videos are very low effort and it doesn't look like you really do a whole lot at all. It's just a lot of complaining. So I wasn't even going to make a video of this particular project because I don't think it's worthwhile. But I figure, hey, you know what? If you're going to do that, you're not even going to watch this video. But if you're going to do that, then I'm going to prove to you that there is actual effort that goes into one of these. And hopefully this one will actually work. I kind of don't think it will, because my life is a comedy. But this is my backup server. It's a file server that I put together goodness only knows how long ago. And right now, this is what's in it. This particular camera, I've used a different camera every time. This is a JVC GRSZ1 Super VHS camera that will not record to tape. So it's relegated to video output duty, which is what it's doing right now. But this thing has got an Asus M4A 785M motherboard with a Phenom II, I think it's like an X2 545 or something. Something similar. And the idea here is that I'm going to upgrade this because I have some hardware that's sitting around that's maybe not better than this, but more power efficient than this. And ultimately, I guess it really doesn't matter because this hardware only sees power for like the first 2 weeks of the month. I guess that is most of the month. But anyway, the fact of the matter is I'm going to replace it with something that's more efficient and hopefully, probably not, but it'll be an upgrade anyway. So this is going from a Phenom II to an i3. It's only a first-gen i3, but an i3 is an i3, so that is how we're going to do it. Now, I got my screwdriver out and promptly managed to lose it, which is great. See what remember what I said about comedy? Yeah. Where did I put it in all of the messing around that I've done? The video card in the encoder computer is really noisy. Oh, here it is. And I'm not so sure I'm real fond of that. See, I wanted to get the new microphone setup going so I wouldn't have to hold this mic in my hand. It's really annoying. to have to hold a mic in my hand. I mean, I could probably do this. Set it on top of something, but I don't know how the audio is if I set it on top of something, so I'll have to inspect. I mean, let me know if you can still hear me. I guess, I mean, it looks like the audio levels are passable. It's rather quiet, so I expect to find that people will complain about it being quiet, which is fine. It's not something I don't expect. Is this fan good? This fan is bad. Well, I was not expecting to have to replace a cooling fan, but I might have to replace a cooling fan. Anyway, I'm going to remove this USB 3.0 card first. I think I'm going to have to put it back. I don't think the new board has got USB 3.0. So, let's see. I don't have a preview. Well, I do have a preview window. It's just like 4 minutes behind. So I don't know what you can. I can't really do anything. This is as tall as the tripod goes. So, I mean, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but this is as tall as it gets. I could probably do this, and it might do something. I don't know. I mean, I've got the encoder right here. I can see it. It's what I'm using to monitor the chat right now. But, well, I guess it's not going to matter because this thing right here is going to be in the way. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I tried. Can't fault me for not trying. Alright. So, pull this out as well while we're at it. Just because both of them are going to need to come out. So, there's your little USB 3.0 card. And this is our Rocket Raid, which I'm really hopeful is going to work with the other board, because that's usually what ends up killing my upgrades, is because that stupid raid card, this stupid raid card, I should say, it's sitting right in front of me, does not particularly like working. I should get this bag of screws out of the way. So let's see. I would like to have that, please. Of course. There's always got to be something in the way. That is getting loud. I wonder if you could hear that in the microphone. I'm not really sure why it's getting so loud and why it's running so hot. I mean, it's an ATI video card. Or, I'm sorry, no, I can't say that. It's an AMD video card. I think. Why can't I have this? Thank you. Yeah, no. Excuse me. Rocket Raid 1740. Will it focus on that? There we go. Cool. Alright. So, now, I gotta get this out of the way. I'm gonna have to retie this, and that's another reason why I pulled this out, is because I rejigged all this cable management in order to install that USB 3.0 card, and I'm gonna have to rejig it again. Now, the one thing I think I'm going to run into a problem with is the order of these cables, because I like to have, and it's one of those really weird things, I've never really understood why I'm like this, but I am very pedantic about where things are plugged in with respect to SATA ports. You know, the boot drive has to be on port 0, the next drive has to be on port 1, the next one's got to be on 2, then 3, and, you know, so on and so forth. If it's not like that, it bugs me. And I don't really know why, just that it does. It really bothers me. So, I guess I'm going to have to take a mental note. Oh, that's 4, 5, and 6 on the top. So, which one is... Okay, one is this right here, which I can't get to, because, of course. So, that one's 4... This one's 5, if I can get it off the freaking board. This one is 6. I'm going to mix them all up. So, you know what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'm just going to end up plugging them in one at a time anyway. But red, orange, blue, and then these two silver things. Front panel. Boink. It's not one piece, which is good. I hate single piece front panel connections. It drives me nuts. Those are already disconnected. There's no floppy. There's no anything else. There wouldn't even be space for a floppy in here anyway. There is an IDE plug, but of course I don't have that because there's no space. So the only other thing that I think I need to do... Is there a case fan in this? No, I think the only other things that are plugged in are the CPU power connector right here and the motherboard power connector, which is right there. So that's all unplugged. Now I can pull this board out, which is what I'm going to do. If I can figure out where I put my screwdriver, it's right there in front of my face. So here we go. Normally this is the kind of thing that I'd either edit out or I would time-lapse, because this is the part that people don't like to see, and this is probably why I get comments about how, you don't put a lot of effort into this. It doesn't take very long to build a computer. That's because I cut out all the parts nobody wants to see. So if I cut it out, people want to see it. If I leave it in, people bitch at me because I left it in. So you can't win either way. I just cut it out because I don't really think it's worthwhile to upload a 24-minute long video about a computer build where 20 minutes is spent putting screws in and pulling screws out of a motherboard, of a case, or anything else for that matter. But I'm very particular. Where's the screws? The other problem with this board that I'm using now that's in here, this Phenom board, has got a bad RAM slot, which is why I have it, actually, because it was cast off. If all the RAM slots still worked, I'm sure it would still be in service. But the first RAM slot right here, you might be able to see, maybe just barely, that it's unpopulated. Let's see, this camera's got zoom. I could try and zoom. Probably break absolutely everything, but down there. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, well, if it stayed in focus. Come on. Okay, do I need to put it into manual focus? Well, it's staying in focus now. But yeah, that slot right there in front of that memory module is bad. If you put something in there, the computer does not post. So it doesn't really matter what it is either. I mean, as long as it's DDR2, obviously you can't shove a DDR4 stick in there, but DDR2 memory modules doesn't work. So, oh well. It has 6 gigs installed in it now. The new board has got 8 gigs of DDR3 on it, so it should be a little bit faster. Now let me see if I can actually get to this screw that's down here. The last one is always the most difficult. Can I get that unplugged? Did I get the screw? I got the screw. Yeah, alright. So, this board, assuming that I haven't forgotten something, should be able to pop right out. Just like that. So, there we go. That took how long? About 15 minutes. So, yeah, see? That's why we edit things. I want the I/O plate. I would like to have that, please. Old I/O shield, not required. See, normally when I do these, I'm going to mention this now. Normally when I do these, I will upload the archive immediately after the stream is over, or close to any, as immediately as I can get to uploading the archive. But I won't be doing that for this one because I already uploaded a video today. So I guess the archive is going to come out tomorrow. Or if I didn't set the settings right, it'll come out today anyway. I don't know. Because I think there's an option for that now. It used to be that the archive would always go unlisted. Can you like go into place, please? That would be nice. Alright. So there's our new plate. Watch, I probably just put the old plate back in. That'd be really funny. Glad it didn't. Alright. New motherboard. There'll be fewer screws because I know that this board is smaller. This is the new hardware, which is kind of got some dirt all over it. So let's see if we can get this into place without damaging anything. I'm going to at least get it started and then pull all the stuff that I need to pull out. I hate that sound. It sounds like something is scraping. I really, really hate that sound. I would like to get that into place, please. What's it getting stuck on now? Nothing. Unless it's the front panel audio? No, there's nothing for it to get stuck on, so what's the deal? What is your deal, dude? What's going on here? Okay, take two. Is it getting stuck on that? It's always got to be something to get in the way. Always got to be something. No, there's nothing for it to get stuck on. It's just purely getting stuck on nothing. What, is the standoff in the wrong place? No. So, what's your deal? What is your deal? I don't understand. See, this is what I mean. There's always something that's gotta get in the way and wreak havoc on what you're doing. There's nothing underneath that. So it should just go right in, but it's not. Why? Oh, okay. You're just going to get screwed into place then, if you want to do that. If that's the game you want to play, that's the game you're going to lose. No, that standoff has to be in the wrong place. There's no way it can't be. Well, I guess it's in the right place. Okay, whatever, sure. I think I've had problems with this motherboard in the past. So I'm sure that this is going to go real well. Let the magic smoke out of something, probably more than likely. I'm sweating like crazy. I don't know why, because it's not like it's hot in here. So there will be extra screws. What I'm going to do first is I'll get that all screwed in. Then I'm going to plug in the motherboard connectors. Oh, that's lovely. There's only one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I only need one of the PCI Express slots anyway. So, I guess I ought to remove that. Put that right here. those should be the slots that I need. Front panel. We'll get that hooked up first. If I can. If I know what I'm doing, which I really don't. I'm having a hard time seeing what's going on here, too. Colored wire is usually positive. At least that's what the standard is. Some of these things do them their own way. For the switches, it doesn't matter, but for the LEDs, obviously it does. Power LED. And colored wire positive. Which one goes on the bottom of that? Is it the reset? And reset switch goes beside the hard drive LED. I'm not even going to worry about the colored wire on that one. I don't really care. And then, what is this? Power switch. Where does that go? Looks like right above the reset. Again, I'm not going to worry about positive or negative because it doesn't matter. And then, last but not least, I need the PC speaker. Where is the speaker connection? I just saw it like 5 seconds ago. WTF, there we go. Speaker. Plug in, please. Thank you. Alright. So there's your front panel. That's the most tedious part of any installation. This is USB. So normally this doesn't matter, but again, I'm pedantic about this. I'll always plug it into one. If there's only one. If there's two, I guess it doesn't matter, but if there's only one, like there is in this case, I will always plug it into the right one. So that right there could be problematic. I hope not. There shouldn't be any other connectors that need to be plugged in other than the obvious ones. See, the problem with taking a picture before you take them out is that every motherboard manufacturer does things their own way. So what usually ends up happening is how it went in, or how it came out, is not the same as how it's going to go in. Now, I don't know what the deal is with this. Why that won't go into place. I guess it's in place enough. And then I will plug in this. And then I guess the first step is going to just be to make sure that it works. So I'm going to find the keyboard. Probably turn on a light while I'm at it. Or I have a light right here by the workbench. Turn on the workbench light. And grab this. See, it's the time of year that I really hate this time of year because it gets so dark so fast. So, holy crap. This cable, what are you doing? You'll do what I want, alright? I've had enough of computers deciding they're going to do whatever they feel like today. I spent probably a good 2 hours trying to deal with a PFSense box because the SSD failed, and trying to get that replaced was a real pain in the ass. Even though it shouldn't have been. It really shouldn't have been. It should have been a really, really easy task, but it was made difficult by the fact that computers tend to just not do what they're supposed to do half the time. So I want power, which means I would kind of like to have that, thank you very much. Plug it in. It should turn on immediately. I think this was in a server already, but it might not, because it might actually have been in the party line computer in the low-end radio studio. Yeah, I think that's where it was, so it probably won't actually turn on immediately. Well, we can find out. Put the power switch on. Computer has thus far done nothing. we'll come over to this. Make sure that's set right. Try and open this. Which, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to pull it off for now. Let's push power. And it comes on. So that much works. I have the bling hooked up in the front of the case. Is it going to turn off? Ooh. Delete to get into setup. And it's complaining about a fan. Which fan, I don't know. I think it's the case fan. It's the CPU fan spinning. That's really annoying. Yeah, it's complaining about the system fan. Turn that off. Can I save and exit and get that to shut up? Thank you. Good lord. Alright, I went into buy on setup. And let's see. 1333. I want XMP. Let's turn on profile 1. Did that change the CPU frequency? It lowered the CPU frequency. If I do that, XMP. Well, let's just turn XMP on. So, sure, whatever, I guess. Turn XMP on and see what it does. The computer should turn off. And turn back on. Posted. Memory frequency 1600. What's the CPU frequency supposed to be? I guess I should figure that out. But, nevertheless, 8 gigs of RAM. I need to set this up the way that it should be set up. HCI, the Azalea codec. I don't need the LAN boot ROM. So, let's see. AC back function should be full on. And I will set up a timed resume every day at... I should probably set it for 8 o'clock in the morning. So we'll set that... Let's just set it for 12. Why not? Because I had that on before, because it's programmed to shut itself off every once in a while as well, if I'm not using it. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So that's all good. Shouldn't be anything in there that I need to worry about. Although what I might do is I might... that's not going to work. Not what I had in mind. But that should be fine. 75. Okay, I might be putting a new heatsink on that at some point, because that's kind of hot. I'm not sure why it's so hot. It can't possibly be that hot. That's kind of scary. Okay. Well, anyway, so we'll let it do its thing here for a second. It should not boot to anything because there should be nothing plugged into it. There's my main lights. We'll turn that off, which is a real nice thing to do to it, I'll tell you what. And let's start plugging in drives. Let me see, can I do this? No. Unfortunately, I don't think so. So, let's see here. Well, this red, I believe, yes. Let's see how good my memory is. This one, I believe, should be 0. And then the other red one should be 1. Although I want to make sure not to grab the ones that are going over there. You know, the ones that are supposed to be going to the raid. You know what? Why don't I just pull them out? I'm just going to pull the ones for the raid right out. So that way they're not interfering with this determining of what needs to go where. The last two, I guess it doesn't really matter. In fact, really, none of these matter. These data drives don't really matter that much. But I would like to get them back where they were. So this one I know has got the stupid lock on it. So I'm guessing it's going right there. And that would put this one right here. And the last one's the orange one. It should go right here. You know, I should have put the Rocket Raid card in before even plugging any of this in. Because, guess what? That just guarantees that the system is not going to work with the Rocket Raid installed. And I guess, to that effect, I'm going to pull this out here. Because I don't know which PCI slot it's going to need to be plugged into. Because there's two PCI slots, and if I remember how this usually goes with motherboards, one of the slots, if I put the Rocket Raid in it, the BIOS will not ring in, and it'll conflict with something else, which is why it won't ring in. So, okay. Let's put it in the bottom one first. Just because I like keeping card. No, let's put it in the top one first. Because the wireless card is going to go right there. So let's just put it there. And I'm going to actually power it up. Which should make it turn on. And now we get a post beep out of it. Do we get the RAID ringing in? There's our AHCI BIOS. Now port 0 is busted. There's the RAID card. Port 0. What was that? Port 3? One of them, I guess, is unplugged. I do not want you to boot, please. It's the blue cable. Oh, because the power connector is unplugged. Neat. That's very nice of it. Alright. So we'll fix that. And I'm going to plug the drives back into the RAID card. I would appreciate it if you would plug yourself in. So look at this, 35 minutes. What did I say earlier? You know, a 24-minute long video. So it takes even longer to build a computer than you might think. But of course, this is a server with a whole bunch of hard drives. So an actual computer, maybe a little bit less time than what I'm spending on this. Still, if I had the space in the case, there's supposed to be a lock on that cable. I guess evidently it doesn't work. So we'll try that. These don't matter because they're all part of the same. Well, actually they're not, are they? But I think the RAID card is smart enough. Oopsie, my apologies. The RAID card should be smart enough to be able to figure this out on its own. You know, okay, this drive is plugged in there. This drive is plugged in there. I'm sure there's information stored on the drive's partition tables that will tell you all that you need to know about which things go where. There is a USB hard drive. I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's not really important to this. But here we go. Oh, this camera has bad caps. It's really kind of amazing that it works at all. But there we go. There's all our drives bringing in now. And I'm going to hope that there isn't going to be any degraded arrays or missing arrays. We'll just let it load. Oh, I need to plug in the Ethernet because I need to get the IP, or not the IP, but I need to get the MAC address so I can update it on the DHCP server. Loading. This is from an SSD. So DA0 and DA1 are present, which is good. The one that's not is DA2, which is my little card, which I'm going to have to plug in here in a second. RE0 should have a link. There we go. Why is it getting 10? Isn't 10 already assigned to something? I'm going to have to go and look into that. So actually, we can probably do that just right here on this computer, because, you know, this is, I'll do that on this thing. So let's make a new tab, and I'm going to actually have to go in to the server. This is the DHCP server, which I can't see. I don't care whether the certificate, you think the certificate's invalid or not. Just go. Thank you. It's self-signed. I always hate that. I could change it. I'd love to change it to regular HTTP, but when I tried that, it just broke the whole server. So here's what we could do. I think I'm hot stuff. So we could try and do this on the fly. I'm going to turn studio mode on here for a second. And actually, let's not do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. Yes. And we are going to get rid of stuff from this that I don't need, and then we will try a video capture, screen capture. How's that done on this? Display capture? No, I guess that would be a good explanation of it. No, let's not do a display capture. That's going to be ridiculous. It'll be video feedback if I do that. Doing this on the fly, isn't that fun? Entertaining. Window capture. No, I got that right. So, okay. Cool. Now, I would like to fit that, if I can, transform fit to screen, because I guess it's not quite the right resolution, and we'll just transfer over to it. We'll take that out of studio mode, and, oops, hey, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? I can't see what's going on here. I need to go like that, so that way my little watermark here, so that somebody doesn't steal this, is there. So here we are on this thing, and what I want is the DHCP Leases. Which one is supposed to be assigned to? Yeah, there's something already on 10. So why did this get 10? Let's try going to 10. Just that should be, no, this took it over. Why did this take over 10? Okay, my network is completely borked, I guess. So, oh, I probably didn't change it. So I guess that's what I need. I need this MAC address. And I need to go to the DHCP server. And I need to, it's not for that one, OPT2, change this to this. Control V. Alright. So that. Reconnect, bitch. Is it working? Is it still working? Well, okay, not still working. Is it working again? That's my question. Is anybody gonna say something? Or can I just safely assume that it'll work? I'm not really sure what that was about. I need to make a stream will return shortly, I guess. But back to where we were. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't leak that. I guess it's okay. I don't think there's anything particularly private on that. But, yeah, back to this, which is where I was. What was I doing? Yeah, I just finished that. I don't know what you all saw, but I just changed the MAC address. And clearly I'm going to have to do it again because one of my servers is on some other random address it's not supposed to be on. So that's great. But that should be configured now. We can come back to this. And I think that's probably it, really. Well, okay, you know what? We might as well finish this. We might as well finish this off. So I'm going to turn this off, and that's going to buy the farm, apparently, because I guess it thinks that's acceptable. Well, actually, I'll get it out of the way. I don't need it right now. I don't know what that was all about. I think it disconnected my wireless network. And I think what I'm going to end up having to do is putting an Ethernet card into the encoder computer and just going Ethernet because I think the wireless is just unreliable in here. Alright, I'm going to bring back the OBS window so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm hopeful that everybody can still see this and it didn't totally break. And I would like to put that right there. And then I'm going to have to screw this back in. And I guess I'm going to put this slot blank back in as well. Easy enough. There's 2 extra screws. They can go someplace else. I just bumped my security camera, which I really need to mount to the wall. Where'd the screwdriver go? Oh, there it is. Like I was in the middle of like doing something really, really cool, and then what does it do? Oh, it's disconnected. Like, sure, whatever, I guess. computers. But ultimately you saw the most important part. And that's that. So now I gotta rejig this, which probably means I should pull this if it'll actually let me. I would like to remove that, please. So that way what I can do is drag this over here where it needs to go and take the rest of this. Oh, okay. I see how that's going to be. So let me tell you what. This is how this is going to work. You want to do it your own way, but you're going to do it my way. Things will get done the way that I would like. It's not so much leaking an IP address, it's that I want to get it set up. The whole screen capture thing set up properly before, just bringing it online. Some semblance of professionalism, right? Might as well have something. So, there. So now that's all in place. I guess it's better than it was. I hope I have no need to pull that back out again. And I think that's it. So we'll power it up one more time. Make sure that it still works. I don't think this fan is working. What speed is it set to? It's set to high speed. Yeah, that fan is not working. So I guess I'm going to be replacing a rear case fan in this later. Probably around the same time that I go ahead and replace the heatsink. I think I have a replacement heatsink. I don't know, do I? Or did I use that for something else? Because in theory, I should have a, what is it? The Deep Cool something or another. Was it Deep Cool? Or was it? No, it was the Cooler Master. Cooler Master Hyper T2, I think. I pulled that out of something that I didn't need it. And I don't think I reused it. So I could probably install that in here. And it'd be a way better heatsink than the push-pin Intel garbage that's installed in this now. I mean, the Cooler Master still uses the push-pins, but at the very least, I think it has broken push-pin too, which is lovely, but at the very least, yeah, for whatever reason, this is on 10. So I guess I'm going to be finding where on my network the thing is gone. So here's what we could do. Let's try this. I think that I'm smart. And the stream is only 50 minutes long. So we'll get that out of the way. And I guess I'll add a new scene, which will make everything blend. No, I won't add a new scene. No. Delete, remove, get out of here. Thank you. I want this one. Put it into studio mode. Duplicate this. Yes. I could have duplicated the other one. Probably should have duplicated the other one. One that I just made. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And then I will actually go ahead and add a desktop capture onto this one. Just like that. Okay. And fit to screen. that up. So that way it's over top of it. And take it out of studio mode. Go over to it. And yay! Here we are. Alright, minimize that. Like I said, I think I'm smart. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to go to the server, I guess. I don't know, does this have Java on it? I think it probably does. Go to utilities. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, it wants Java. I don't have Java installed. Rats. Well, I guess we're installing... do I want to do that? Do I really care? Oh, look, it brought up the Java installer for me. Okay, well, I guess we're going to do it now. Shut up. Start download. Save file. I don't really care where it saves it. Guess it's going there. I would like to run that. Come on. What happened? Open containing folder. Get out of here. I guess that broke. So, okay. Where's Sea Monkey? That's how we'll get it out of here. Go ahead and run it. And then it'll install. This is totally not what I was expecting to do on this. What I want to do is I want to figure out where on my network that particular server has gone. And I guess reboot it because it's... Okay, is this going to work? Yes. Holy crap. Install. Why is it asking me to remove? Because it was already installed. Because it was already installed? No, it wasn't installed. It shouldn't have been installed. Unless it was and something's busted. So here comes Java install. I'm going to go ahead and come back to this. Because I guess this doesn't matter anymore. Ultimately, this isn't really going to be privy to the rest of this video because I've pretty much figured out that it works. So I'm going to just turn it off, get all this out of the way. I'm going to put the cover back on. Probably take a picture of it for the website. Yeah, I might as well, right? Is there a floppy disk in there? Yeah. So, turn on. Block lens cap. Off. And stay off. Take a picture of it if we can. Go. I guess a rear picture doesn't really matter. Well, might as well do that too, right? Yeah. Unplug all this. My nice clean floor is now not clean anymore. I had some work to do with that, I guess. We'll use that. Should be good to go, so eventually those pictures will make it to the website. I wanted to check the chat. That was why I minimized and went to that in the first place. And just see what's going on. What people are telling me I'm doing wrong now. And you know, computer, that would mean that I would like you to do something useful. Oh, not a single word. Okay. So, maybe it's still working, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Get rid of that. I guess we'll come back to this. Java's installed. Now I guess I could come over to this. We'll see if it'll run it. I don't want that. Got the right network. So let's see where on the network it ended up. Wait for it. 15 hosts are live. Would like to sort by the host name. Should be you. Ended up at 85, and that one's on the wrong one too. So yeah, I've got some figuring out to do. Looks like. I don't know why that one ended up at 84. That's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some rejigging and make sure that all the IP addresses are set properly and all of that. So you know what? I'm gonna just do that right off the thing. So I think that's pretty much gonna conclude this at this point. Even though I guess it was only like an hour long. Better than nothing, right? You know, you got to see a video and the haters. Now I know exactly what goes into one of these. And this is one of the ones that worked perfectly. I didn't have to do any screwing around in order to get this to run. So when you got to do screwing around, it takes even longer. 58 minutes to put together a computer for the YouTube audience to watch and hopefully enjoy. I didn't have anybody tell me that I suck the entire stream, so I'm sure that, you know, the enjoy factor is pretty high. That or, you know, everybody tuned it out, which is possible. It's 58 minutes of me rambling on over nothing. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. I don't know. I was kind of hoping to maybe have a weekly live stream thing. I don't really think that's going to happen because it means I need to have content to live stream on a weekly basis, and I don't think I can really do that. I tried it for a while. It didn't really work. I guess I could sit in front of a camera and yak for, 20 minutes. Answer people's questions on a weekly basis, but I don't think that after a while that gets kind of boring. So I don't know. I guess for now that's the deal with this. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you later.